I wiped my number on the fucking windscreen. What a fucking noob, hey? Hello. Welcome back to Starlet Adventures. You might be wondering why this thing's on the hoist again. Well, I went to the drags after successfully running this engine in, and we did a bit of road tuning. And so I thought, yeah, there's one session left of the weeknight drags, which is just like a street legal, off-street kind of drags. You can just take your street car, your legal road registered street car, and thought I'd see if I can better my previous PB with this new combo. It didn't really go that great. The engine was absolutely flawless, like the engine was amazing. The clutch, however, just, yeah, it's not doing too great. So unfortunately, the gearbox is coming out today, and I have an appropriate solution. Alright, so what I've got here is a OS Geekin twin plate clutch. My flywheel doesn't look like this, it's not that dirty. Yeah, so because I'm using W58 on a 4AG, the spline count is, I forget what it is. This is it. And so a 4AGZ clutch will actually fit. And it's what I was actually using for a really long time on the last version of this setup. And it actually lasted really, really well. I was using a 4AGZE flywheel, just with a GZE Cusco bimetal clutch and modified cover. And yeah, I don't know, they handled the power like fantastically, and it was like brilliant clutch to drive, and yeah, I don't know. But then obviously flywheel came loose and had a few minor issues with that. So yeah, then I went to the MRP setup, and it just not working. So I suppose I'm over the threshold. It seems I'm making a fair bit of jam. So I'm just going to pull this apart out of the box, and I'll show you what it's all about. So the multi-plate clutch is a bit more serious than just your standard type of clutch. So this is the actual cover with the springs in it, this like the fulcrum there, and then it has a basket that retains all the plates. So this is, well, I can get it out. This is the actual cover for the friction face. So this is the friction face, just like this one, just like this part of the clutch cover. That's what this represents. So this and this together would normally be like that. So now we get to the plates. So they have the flywheel, and then one plate, and then an intermediate plate, and then another friction plate, and then that cover that I just showed you. So this is one of the friction plates. And as you can see, it's a solid center. Unfortunately, due to the size of my clutch, I couldn't get a sprung center, which is what I really wanted to use. So there's that one, and then this is the intermediate plate I was telling you about. So this and the back one are also friction faces. So with a twin plate clutch, you are more than doubling your actual clamping force, because you have so many more faces that you can use a surface area. And there's the other friction disc. So yeah, and here's the flywheel. So you can see here, there's kind of this rail here. That's just the basket, and the basket is a separate piece to the flywheel. The basket bolts on to the back of the flywheel. And there's marks on here because all these parts are indexed, they're balanced up. So yeah, basically you just you bolt the flywheel on, you insert all the discs, and then it's very, very important to have these lined up. It's not as easy to install a twin plate as it is a like a regular traditional style clutch, in that these two splines have to be perfectly in sync, otherwise your gearbox won't go straight on, basically. So they have to be in sync and in the center at the same time, and clamped down. So yeah, it can be a bit of trial and error if you've not really done a multiplate before. So I can't use my traditional clutch alignment tool, which I'm very, very fond of, which is just a single plate alignment tool. So I'm going to need to get an input shaft, basically. I think I have a cluster laying around, and I'm just going to knock the shaft off of that. Alright, so this is the devastation on the clutch assembly itself. You can see the amount of hot spots on here, and some of these are just pieces of material that have been left on the flywheel. So all the hot spots on there. So this is a chromoly flywheel, so it's like sort of built to take it, but you know, still that's pretty bad. There's, you know, build-ups here and stuff. The pressure plate didn't really do much better. There's a bunch of deposits like on here that are clutch disc material, there and there as well. It's a bit average. So poor old guy didn't really handle it. You can see the gouge in the friction material on the clutch disc directly translates to where like all this stuff is on the outside. So it definitely wasn't coping very well. The other side. So yeah, you can see it was mostly not even really bed in yet, because it wasn't on the full face of the actual disc itself, and it just spun up the outside. So literally only had this outer strip supporting the power output of the engine itself. So yeah, that was never going to work. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Twin plate. Okay, so I've been driving this twin plate around. I hope this audio's alright. I've been driving this twin plate around for the last couple of weeks. I'm pretty confident with it, and so there's no chill at all with this clutch. It's like it's ribbon or it's not. It's on or off kind of thing, and but it's absolutely amazing. Like, oh, far out, man. Like, yeah, absolutely, yeah, fantastic, like, investment. So it's never revved out this hard. It's never held power this hard. I reckon it's definitely making more power from mid-range to top end. There seems to be
like another surge of power at like 6 grand now that it didn't have before with the MRP clutch in. Because I reckon that clutch was slipping like the whole time. If you look at previous drag footage, you can see that it's definitely slipping when you look at it against the speedo. Like the speedo's going up and the tack's, you know, staying either the same or it's like falling back a little bit. So today is Wednesday, and we're into September now, and our local drag strip has just reopened. So they run on Wednesday night, like off-street drag for registered street cars, that kind of thing, where you can just take your car and pay a bit of money, and yeah, just do as many runs as you can fit in usually. So I'm taking the car down there, and we're just going to see what it'll do. I've changed my tyres as well. So I used to be running Achilles semi-slicks, and now I'm running Advan 8008Rs, and whoo, man, they're cool. Big improvement on 5-year-old semi-slicks, like, you know, well, that's what you get. But yeah, brand new tyres, February 21 tyres. So they're brand new, they're real sticky. I've got all the coating off of them, and done some rigorous testing on the heat loading and stuff like that. So I've been doing a bit of practicing and driving the car around a little bit. Just switch hands because I'm coming out to a roundabout here. So yeah, I've been doing a bit of testing and just cruising around and driving the car to work and just using it as like a daily driver, which is absolutely hilarious because of the amount of looks and waves and honks and like people and kids that point at it and things like that. Everybody loves the thing, man, you know, so it's great to be able to share that experience with everyone as well. But currently now I'm driving straight at the sun, so I'm just pulling up here to the drag strip, so I'm going to pay my money, register, tech in, and I'll check back in with you. Alright, I'm going straight down to 16 PSI. Worked for me before with the R-comps, but these 808Rs have a pretty compliant, pretty compliant sidewall, so I think I'm gonna have to let them down so much. I'm gonna try 16 or 18. Yeah, I'll go 18. Let's see how 18 works. I mean, they hook up on the street, so should be good. There we go, 18. My windscreen's fucking got shit all over it. Can't see shit. I'll wipe my number on the fucking windscreen. What a fucking noob, hey. Garbage. There's Phil. All right. I can turn the wick up all the way to full. I'm gonna race this fucking Ranger, Ford fucking Ranger. I don't know, I might be able to take it.
Garbage. Ah, fuck. Garbage. 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 Ah. Oh man. I guess twin plates aren't for drag racing. Alright, not too bad. I'll be attempting to race tonight.
Don't worry. So that's just $80, please.
Yeah, alright, it's going up every time, eh? $80! Ah! $80!